Excuse me while I put on my little heating pad, okay, girl? So much fun being a woman. Thank you. What is up, my beautiful Glamazons, and welcome back to my channel for a very long awaited Ask Nikki. For those of you guys that are new here, new to my channel, or new to this series, this has been a years and years long series. It originated as a series called Tell It Like It Is, because I be telling it like it is, okay? Not only do I give you my mediocre advice, but I do give you some tough love. More oftentimes than not, I'm constantly reminding you guys of your worth, what you deserve, and reminding you who you are. Very excited to just reconnect with you guys, give you guys my mediocre advice. What makes me qualified? Nothing. I am not a professional. That's why I call it my mediocre advice. Number one, I do have a lot of experience in life with different things, different topics, but number two, a lot of the things that I have learned in my life has been because I had to learn it on my own. I had to kind of take the long way. The reason why I created this series in the first place is to be a person that I wish that I would have had when I was going through things, when I was experiencing things, highs and lows throughout life. If you are one of my Glamazons that made a submission, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope that I get to as many of you guys as possible before I have to go pick up my baby from school. So without further ado, let's stop all the yapping and let's go ahead and get into this. While I open this, if you're not subscribed, definitely do that. Now, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, definitely take a second to do that. That is where I let you guys know when this form is open for submissions. I'm gonna let you guys sound off in the comments to let me know how many times you guys would like Ask Nikki's a month, twice a month, once every week. Whatever you guys want, let me know down below. If you are thinking about writing into me, I just want you guys to know you will always remain anonymous. If you guys want me to call you by a certain name or an initial, I definitely honor that. There will be no information given, any personal information, especially if you let me know beforehand. I need some advice on my relationship. I'm stuck between trying to make it work with my baby daddy or if I should just move on. To try and make a very long story short, my baby daddy and I got pregnant 2 years into our relationship. At the time, we were big stoners and honestly had no direction in life. After my pregnancy, I felt a whole shift. That will happen. I quit smoking. Yes. Started going back to school and lost 100 pounds. Yes. Good for you, girl. My baby daddy supports us by working. I hate it, honestly. He never lets me handle the finances, never keeps me in the loop about money. And when I suggested that I take over by managing where money comes and goes so we can save, he shuts it down real quick by saying no one is going to touch the money he works hard for. Honestly, he's not a bad dad or a bad guy. My whole family loves him, but he has a big habit of using weaponized incompetence against me. For so long, he was in between jobs and can never fully keep one. We've been together for 6 years, and this is the first whole year he's had a stable job. I'm very vocal about how I feel, but he doesn't ever change or says he will and never does. I constantly go back and forth between fighting for my family or just leaving. I came from a broken home, and it wasn't the best experience. Our son is never in our crossfire. We make sure of that due to both of our personal childhood experiences. To me, I feel like if I could just change the little things that I ask of, we could do so well and thrive. Honestly, I don't know what to do. I'm hanging on by a thread, and I feel like I lost my whole identity by putting everything that I am into this relationship. So first things first, congratulations to you, mama, on your beautiful baby, as well as you turning your life around, quitting smoking, losing 100 pounds for your health and wellness. Like, good for you. Now let's dig into this relationship. The weaponized incompetence is a completely separate conversation that we'll have in just a second. The financial situation has to be something that you guys bring to the table and that you are consistently vocal about. I understand this whole my money, your money, their money, his money, your, like, all of that needs to stop when there's a baby involved, number one. And number two, y'all are creating a family dynamic in the home. You have been together for 6 years. Don't know if y'all want to get married. Really not my business. But at the end of the day, y'all are playing house like you're married. And when you are married, when you have a family, it is no longer mine, yours, theirs, his, hers, whatever. It's not, it's ours. I think that there needs to be a conversation had about your future, about what you guys want for your future, what you guys are envisioning for your future, just to make sure you guys are on the same page. I understand everybody's situation is different, but this is what my mom always used to tell me, like, don't ever, 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 ever put all of your eggs in one basket. basket. Don't be relying 100% on a man's, because some of them do this where they will try to control you with the financial situation. Then they pull this whole, I worked hard for it. I don't know where he thinks that your child is throughout the day when he's working hard for his money, but he also has a responsibility. And if he's not paying for daycare or childcare with all of the money that he has earned, well, then that means that you are also working to help him work. So that means that that money is partly yours as well. And I hate having to go down this road that's ugly schmugly. Like, either you care about us or you don't. And as women, you know, we forget our roles. The roles in the family dynamic is so unbelievably important to lay out. I am here to be your helper. Because you are out there doing the laborer's job, doing the work, you may not know about all of the ins and outs of all of our bills, all of our expenses, all of the things that we need for the baby. There is a need for partnership. So if there is, you have to ask your man why. Where is this coming from? Do you not trust me with the finances? Where is this stemming from? Like, have I given you a reason to not trust me with the finances? And if you guys come to the conclusion that he's not going to change his mind, that's just how he feels, honestly, then something's got to give, because you cannot continue to be living up under a man. I don't know if you guys know the origin of barefoot and pregnant. That saying came from all the way back in the day, from, you know, when women could not have jobs, they could not have their own bank account, they could not own their own property, you know, before women began having their own rights, rule over you and lord over you with finances. You know, when it would get hot outside, for you not to go outside, they would get you pregnant. That's like back in the day. That's where that whole barefoot and pregnant came from, because you were either barefoot because he wasn't giving you no monies, or you were pregnant because he didn't want you going outside. We're not living in the 1800s no more, sweet pie. If he's not willing to work with you on this family and sees you guys as a family, then it would stand to reason. Then, you know what? Y'all need to figure out childcare. You go get your own job. There is no way that I would ever advise you to be living up under a man that's going to be telling you when you can and cannot buy some new shoes for your baby, or, you know, seeing the finances, knowing about the finances. You guys are living together to have a life together. That is a form of control. The weaponized incompetence, that's one of those things, girl, it drives me absolutely nuts. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's like, you know, you ask them for help, then they just do a terrible job at it, a half-assed job at it, almost as a way to teach you to never ask them for anything again. The Lord's still doing the work on me. I still have, you know, some petty ways that I'm dealing with. You want to be incompetent with me, I'll be incompetent with you too then. I guess you coming home to a dirty home. I guess I don't know how to do laundry well. I guess I don't know how to organize the home. I guess I just don't know. Like, we gonna look at each other stupid, I guess, because if you don't know, I don't know. This all comes down to loving one another. You need to have a conversation. This needs to be a heart-to-heart connection. It is not just about living together, living up under one another, and having babies. It's not what this is about. It is about a connection. And I'm so happy to hear that your baby isn't a part of, you know, the arguments or the conversations that are being had. The baby is still a person, and they can feel your energy. They can feel what's going on without you even saying anything. And the fact of the matter is, he's the provider, and I get that, but you also have a very substantial role. You're not just sitting at home picking your butt, girl. You are raising his child. You are with his baby every single day. I guess we get in childcare, and I'm going to work too, because I'm not about to have you tell me when I can go buy milk or when I can go buy my baby some shoes. Either we are going to be in this together, or we'll have our own separate jobs, our own separate money. Don't you ask me for nothing. I always advocate for a conversation being had. So sometimes we have conversations and we are waiting to hear what we want to hear. When we don't, we try to just like mask it and put a band-aid over it. Like, oh, he's going to change. Nah, girl, listen to what he is saying. If he is standing 10 toes down on the finances, on being, you know, incompetent with anything that you give him, well, then something's got to give, because I am my own person as well. I need to be able to provide for my baby. So I'm going to have to take this into my own hands, because you are being stubborn and you are working as a unilateral person, as though you are not a part of a family unit. And if that is how you feel, that is how we will live. point blank to the period. I hope that helps. Have a conversation first, make your move after. I love you. It'll be okay. I'm 21. This is the first time I feel like I have been taken seriously by someone. It's just been a few months so far and we are not yet official. With him, it feels like everything I want in person is there. He has great qualities. He takes care of me best as he can. We have a lot of the same interests. And I don't get any bad signs from him. The only thing is we are long distance. In the same state, but different cities. We met in person and he drives to see me and we take trips together when we can. What I worry about with him and try to help him out with is his communication when it comes to his feelings. He's the type of person to shut out his emotions, doesn't know how to describe how he feels when something bad is going on. I notice that when it gets like that, things with us get a little tense and I try to help, but there's only so much I can do without ending up feeling bad. It's happened a few times and we end up talking it out later and he does tell me he wants to work on it and I'm willing to help him with his emotions because I'm not that type of person. I am very emotional. What would be a good and healthy way to go about things when things get like that? I don't know if I should just give him space or what. Your advice would be greatly appreciated. I hope you and your family are doing well. See, girl, okay, look. This is why I could never do long distance. I don't care. Like, when David and I first met, girl, he lived 25 minutes away. Even that was horrible. And that's exactly why within 3 months we ended up living together. Like, I'm not telling you that that's what you should do. I'm telling you that this is why. Because I am the type of person, David is the type of person, I need to hear from you. You know what I mean? And when you have that type of distance, I don't know like how far apart you guys are as far as like an hour or 2 hours. I don't know. When it comes to long distance, the communication has to be frequent enough as though you are living your life with me, even though you're not. I'm a reassurance girly, okay? You got to reassure me every 10 seconds. Otherwise, I start overthinking everything. I start having questions. What's he doing? What's he feeling? Is there something wrong? Is he mad? And then it kind of just starts taking up your whole day, your mental space. You can't focus on anything. And at that point, the relationship is becoming more of a detriment than it is a blessing. I pay attention, okay? I pay attention. And you made note of your age, you're 21, and also that this is the first time that you feel like you're being taken seriously by someone. You're already putting it in your mind that like this is very rare, so you're just like you're gonna have to put up with some things. Girl, a relationship is a partnership. We are both going through this. I don't know what plans you guys have in the future, whether that be to move in together or move closer to each other or whatever the case may be. You guys are very fresh. It's only been a few months, okay? So this is somebody that you are considering to be your person. You just need to be upfront and honest about it, because if you build the foundation of a new relationship on lies or on, just trying to make him comfortable and you don't want to come off too strong, but yet you're going without your needs, it's taking up all of your mental space. You don't know how he's doing. You don't know what's going on. You're telling him, I understand. You're being very understanding of his emotions. You're kind of the opposite. You're on the opposite side of the spectrum. You're very emotional. He's not. And I understand that. David was very cut off from his emotions when I met him. You cannot be the only person listening or being willing to listen. You're very concerned about how he handles things, his background, all him. Has he inquired about you? Your past, how you handle things, your needs, is just as concerned about you as you are into them. It's really like a pouring of water into each other. Like, think of yourselves as 2 glasses of water and you guys are pouring into each other. And if you're pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and you're sitting here half full and he don't even have the wherewithal to be like, okay, but like, how are you though? Okay, well, I'm gonna make an effort. I'm not asking him to be perfect or just change up his whole personality. It's just making an effort, because guess who's making an effort right now? You're making an effort. So how come he can't make an effort as well? It's very simple. What you do for one, the other one does for the other. And that's a partnership, pouring into each other. Don't be scared to let people know what it is that you need, just out of fear that you're not going to find connection somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I find that a lot with my Glamazons. You guys have these needs, and then you don't want to say anything because you don't want to make them feel weird or upset. He ain't worried about making you feel weird or upset of his background and how he deals with things. It just kind of seems like, well, it is what it is. And like, when it comes to partnerships, there is no it is what it is. That's what makes love the most beautiful thing. It makes you selfless. It's supposed to make you want to think about this other person more than yourself. Is he asking you how you're feeling? Is he making attempts to, show you that he is thinking about you, that he's considering also your emotions, your background, your needs? It's very early on. All it needs to be is, hey, this needs to be reciprocal. Everything in a relationship needs to be reciprocal, my love. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I understand your needs, or I understand where you're at right now. Who's being understanding of you? Who's asking you? You know what I mean? Do not start a relationship giving all of yourself, my love. Women tend to just take everything on and mold ourselves into what they need us to be. And that is what is going to get you into a relationship that takes everything from you and zaps you of every single ounce of yourself, your energy, your love, and before you know it, you're pouring into this boy and pouring into this boy. The expectations need to be set now, mi vida. Now. Set the expectation now. If I'm telling you that I need reassurance and you don't give me that, I guess you ain't gonna hear from me for an afternoon. I don't know what to tell you. I am very mindful of what it is that you're going through. I'm willing to work with you on your emotional barriers. What is it that you're willing to work with me on? Oh, that's right. Nothing. Oh, no. Well, then I guess you're not my person, because your person is going to be very, very aware that they are not the only person that matters, my love. I cannot stress this enough. The foundation of a relationship needs to be based on honesty, vulnerability, humility with each other. I'm not saying that this is supposed to happen overnight. I'm just saying that there needs to be signs that he is trying. I'm not asking him to be perfect. I'm not asking him to change up his entire personality, but can you check on me every now and then? Can I get a little text like hey, how you feeling? Or can I see that you are trying to better your communication, that you're trying? All I need is a little bit of effort, and I'll give you A for effort, because I really like you and I might even love you. David may have had all of those emotional barriers, but he was trying. He definitely tried. He stepped out of his comfort zone. He was trying to be vulnerable, and he was doing things with me that he wasn't doing with other girls because I mattered to him. His friends saw a difference in him. His family saw a difference in him. The people around him started seeing the difference in David because he was actually trying. He understood that it's not just about him, as well as me. There were a lot of things that I had to let go of from my past, and I'm scared, and I got a lot of issues with men's, and I didn't trust nobody, and I had to actually try, not be perfect, not fix it 100%, try. So if you don't see him try, now give him some time, have a conversation, give him some time. If you don't see him trying at all, sweetheart, you are so thoughtful of him. Make sure that he is also thoughtful of you as well, my love. That's all I'm saying. Where do I begin? I'm 24 and I turned 25 in June. Lately, I've been dealing with petty fights with my relatives over dumb things, such as my sister constantly stealing my things and my mom not believing me when I've shown proof of my stuff being taken. I'm sick and tired of my stuff missing, not being heard, and getting told off when I defend myself. I get told, well, you're old enough to get out of my house, which is true, but rent is expensive in California, and I don't make enough to get up and leave, nor to save for a place for myself. I'm also dating a guy doing long distance. He's from Chicago. I visited for months at a time, and recently I went over in February. Well, I did a little investigation and went through this man's phone. I found photos of this man and his ex on his phone, old photos. I was hurt because why are there photos on your phone? Are you in love with her still? He even has her phone number saved, Nikki, And there was 2 outgoing calls to the number, but the calls were never answered because there wasn't a timestamp. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. He did a people search on her in June last year on my birthday because he screenshotted and he's texted other females and was having intercourse based off the messages I read. My heart was torn and I couldn't find it in me to tell him what I found, and didn't say anything till I got home. His excuse was the dates were wrong. It was years ago. All the message receipts were on Snapchat. It doesn't mess up. I know, because that's the one app to be sneaky on and not get caught unless there's saved, which there was clearly. I'm torn. I don't know if I should leave my toxic house with my family that doesn't even want me here. They make it very clear. Or should I go be with a guy that's clearly cheating on me, and I love him very much. He's the first guy I've ever been in a serious relationship with. I don't know what to do. Give me some advice, please. I've been watching you since I was a freshman in high school, and I love your videos. They give me comfort. None of y'all are a victim of your life. This life will beat your ass if you allow it to. You understand? I know that rent is expensive. I know that it's hard living at home. But sometimes, girl, you got to duck your head. You got to grind and you got to figure it out, okay? Listen, this man right here ain't it. He ain't it. I'm not here to play with you. Y'all are way too worthy and way too special and have way too much going for y'all to be going through men's phones and having them lie to your face. I'm sorry. Okay, look, all right, look, let me tell you something. It would be one thing if he was like, you know what, I just completely forgot those were in there. You know, sometimes boys are oblivious. I don't know. And like, give him the chance to be like, okay, delete them now. It should not be any issue. Delete them, permanently delete them. And this need not be a conversation again. All have this intuition. And then we try to fight it. And we try to like be like, oh, but like, I don't know. You do not leave your family's house to go be cheated on. Don't do that. Don't do that. You drop his ass. Okay, drop him. You know what? I'm not about to be playing with you. If you are already lying to me now, I'm not about to have a whole relationship with you lying and trying to get around things and saving things. And all he's going to do is get better at lying and get better at hiding it. I'm sorry. If they are showing you these characteristics, my love, stop allowing these men to be placeholders out of fear that you are not going to find your person. There ain't nothing in this world that is going to stop fate. Do you understand? If you guys would just focus on bettering yourself, focused on getting closer to God, focused on your education, my love. Humans want love, connection, and we want a purpose, okay? And so that is why we kind of make it an obsession to find our person. And you said that you've been with me for a lot of years, so you know that I did not go out there looking for David. And I really do believe that that is the part of the formula that you guys are missing. Every day you're wondering, am I going to meet him today? Am I going to run into him today? Am I going to meet my person today? Am I going to meet my person? Am I going to meet my person? Y'all already know my history with having a sister, okay? I do not like my things touched, so I can only imagine how that must feel. Get you a lockbox on Amazon, girl. Stop playing. Do you have a job? I know you must have a job. I'm sure you have a job, okay? Because you are able to travel and stuff. Get your money. Get you a lockbox. Put your things in the lockbox. Lock that ish. Go to work. Save your money. And if you need to, girl, I don't care. Get a roommate. Okay, get one of your friends. Y'all get an apartment together. I don't care if it's a 1-bedroom. I don't care. Get your goals in check, my love. The economy is going to be what it is. You're not going to be able to live with your parents forever and always. It's not going to change. If you need to do night jobs, weekend jobs, that you're 9 to 5, you already know where I come from, okay? There was a point in time, baby, that I couldn't live with my mom no more just because I can't be told what to do. And I'm my own person. And you know what? If I got to struggle, I got to struggle. If you got to eat some ramen noodles for a while and not be ordering Uber Eats and not go to concerts for a little bit and you got to sacrifice. You are not a victim of your own circumstance, sweetheart. If you make a goal, make goals for yourself, get headstrong, focus on that. When it is time for love to find you, it will. You never know. What if you start trying really hard at work, you get promoted, you end up moving out, you end up getting a roommate, and your whole life changes, and then that's when you meet your person. You're not meeting that person because you're too busy trying to figure out find love right now when you're not in the position to find love right now, sweet pie. Stop treating these men like they're children. They know exactly what the hell they're doing. If it's serious, then you need to deal with it like it's serious. Get rid of all the other hoes in your phone. Why is he trying to call her? Why is he trying to be all sneaky? Girl, no, that's not your man's. Is that your man's? That's not your man's. He's for the streets, obviously. And when it comes to exes, girl, no. Girl, no. Let me hear one thing about his ex. One thing. Then that's her man's. Because in his mind, that is her man's. And because she's taking up space in his mind still. David gets so annoyed if I even bring up any of his exes. He gets so annoyed. You know why? Because they don't take up any part of his mind. You have bigger fish to fry, my love, with your living situation. And, it's got to be hard to be like, oh, well, you old enough to get out the house. And am. And see, I'm that one. You ain't got to tell me that but one time. Bet. And guess what? I will. And like, get headstrong. The way that you guys are so headstrong about finding love and so headstrong about dealing with these men's shit and so headstrong, y'all need to be headstrong about what y'all doing in your life. Y'all need to be headstrong about your future. You need to be headstrong about getting out of that damn house. You need to be headstrong about getting your own place. I don't care if it's with 2, 3, 4 roommates. I don't care. I do not care. If it's that important to you, like, really put your mind to it, my love. It ain't gonna be easy. Ain't nothing in this life worth having easy, baby. Leave him alone. I am telling you, you hear me? You came to me for my advice. Your big sister, big cousin, Nikki is here. Leave him alone. That is enough. He is not going to change. That is the foundation that he's trying to start it on. Shut it down. Otherwise, you will always worry about this with him. Always. Men decide when they are ready. When they are ready to stop acting stupid, they stop acting stupid. But if they're not ready and you're trying to force it, girl, you're going to be sitting here round and round, up and down, and you have too much to be worried about. You got too much going on and some serious stuff going on in your life to be worrying about this little boy. So you leave him alone, get some goals, sit down, write down your goals. And then actually start taking steps to it. Every single day, you need to get mad. You need to get determined. And I pray for motivation for you. I pray for determination. I pray for boldness for you to have the wherewithal and the discipline to save. That's one thing that my mom really did a good job with me on is like, I'm not afraid of the world. I don't care if I lost my house tomorrow, my car tomorrow, I would know how to survive. And that's the advice that I got from her. You are not a victim of your life. You are the ruler of your life. This is your life. You have to want it. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you have 2, 3 jobs. I don't care if you have 2, 3, 4 roommates. Do what you have to do. It is time for us to get up and take ownership of our lives. Do not be scared. You can do this. You can absolutely do this, okay? I promise you. A man is not the answer to all of your problems. Going to move in with him is not the answer to all of your problems, okay? And I am telling you from experience, having had 2 and 3 jobs at a time, it is so worth it. Your freedom, your peace, your happiness, and also knowing that you did it on your own. When I tell you I did it on my own, can't nobody tell me nothing. Did nobody help me get nowhere? Did nobody give me no loans, no handouts? Not a nail thing. I did it. With the Lord's help. Lord Almighty. The Lord didn't just hand me my stuff. He didn't just hand me everything that I have in my life. I worked very hard, which is why I have all of my story times. Because I was always out there in the streets all the time. And I was always working. You gonna give me some money. I'm gonna figure out how to make some money. Some weekend jobs. There's always something. You can do this. Start knocking down some doors. Start making some emails. Start inquiring about roommates. Start inquiring about rooms for rent. I don't care. You want your peace? It comes at a cost. Are you willing to pay it? I love you very much. And I hope that this helps. Leave him alone. This one just simply says how to deal with not liking your own family members. It is what it is, girl. You gotta keep it pushing. You gotta keep it moving. We don't all have to be besties just because we're blood. Okay, it's gonna be good. Hey, Nikki, I love you and I wanted your advice on something. So recently, life hasn't really been on the right track for me because there's so much happening that I feel like sometimes I'm falling behind while everyone else is doing all of these amazing things. I'm 22. I feel like I should be doing all of these big things. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I love you tons. I love your videos. They always help me when I'm having a tough day. Been a fan for years. Oh, I love you too. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Comparison is the thief of your joy. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Your story isn't going to look like everybody else's story. And I understand where you're coming from because I used to feel the same way. The beginning of my story was so hard. And I would tell you guys this in my story times. You know, I had my friends that got to live with their parents all the way up until they were 23, 24, 25. Meanwhile, you know, like I had a mom that was sick that, you know, could not, you know, help me out. I had no helping hand. And I used to look around and be like, why is everything so easy? You know, and all like my friends would be like in college, the parents are paying for all their college, gave them a car. And meanwhile, my ass is on the bus at 20, 21 years old on a bus with no car because nobody's giving me, you know what I mean? That's why they say, put your head down and grind, not compare and grind or look around and grind or be staring and grind. It's look down, put your head down and grind. That is why, because your grind can be affected by comparison. Comparison is the thief of all joy, my love. And nobody's story is exactly the same. You don't know why it is that you're going through this tough season, but I bet you money it's growing you into the person that you're going to be in the future that you have absolutely no idea about yet. The best advice I can give you is to stop comparing yourself to other people. You are still very young. You know, there was a point in my life where I didn't even know what I wanted to do. Smaller goals so that you can gain the confidence in yourself that you are able to do this. And you know, it's hard because when you're younger, you don't really know your abilities yet. You're not privy to how much you can handle and how much you can move mountains just with determination. And so it's kind of like working out in the gym, but it's mental. So making these smaller goals and actually hitting them one at a time, bing, bing, like, you know, like bowling pins. Your brain will understand, like, I'm that one. Like when I put my mind to something, I do it, and it becomes bigger and bigger goals and bigger goals and bigger goals to where one day you sit down and you're like, I know that this is what I want to do, my career path, my life, how I want my life to look. And these are the things that I'm going to do and set in place to make that happen. We sit there and we're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. But we're living the same monotonous life every single day. Growth is uncomfortable. If you are not uncomfortable, you are not going to grow, my love. And that means if you're used to coming home from school or coming home from work and just sitting on the couch and vegging out and watching your favorite show or being on YouTube all day, well, like nothing's going to change. You have to be uncomfortable where you're like, oh, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do something else. You know what I mean? Like, when I was working 2-3 jobs, I had to be uncomfortable and be like, okay, especially when I was like starting my YouTube career, I could have. I had all the opportunity and all the reason in the world to be like, I'm tired, okay? Like I went to my 9 to 5 and then I'm working over here at the scrub club until 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm tired. Like, nah, I could not stop giving yourself excuses. We are our own worst enemies, and it gets to a point where you have to be like, you know what? No, actually, like, I can do more. I can do more. Especially when you're this young, take advantage of the energy that you have. Oh, no, it's time for me to go. Look, okay, I got to go get my baby real fast. So I'm going to go get him and then I'll be right back and we can finish this conversation, okay? Because I have so many things to say and I still have so many questions. And I'm just so happy to be back and to be able to help you guys through these situations and give you guys the encouragement that you need, because I know that life is hard and I'm not going to lie to you. It's not going to get any easier, my love. You have to get stronger. You have to get stronger. You have to start believing in yourself, because life is a bitch. Girl, life will chew you up and spit you out if you let it. My glamour songs are stronger than that. Y'all, and guess what? Y'all have me to help you and to remind you who you are and the strength that you have and the determination that you can have. And all it takes is just a shift in your mindset. So let me go get my baby. You see how I am? I'm not saying, oh, I'm done with this. I'm going to go get my baby and I'm going to come back and we're going to finish. Okay? See, that's the goal. See, that's the determination. You see the determination in my eye? You see? Okay. So let that be an example. I'll be right back. but I miss you. I love you. Be safe, okay? Okay. Love you. Mwah. Girl, now my husband calling me to be like, how's your period? He's asking for a reason, and it's not just to be sweet. Okay, so I'm back. I got a little beat up in the wind. The wind almost blew me away, girl, and my eyelashes. So if I look a little different, I am so sorry. We are going to do a few more questiones because I got to get dinner done and I have kids to feed and stuff like that. While I was driving, though, I was really thinking about how you guys are so young, and I just feel like you guys have so much life to live. Stop messing with these stupid little boys, okay? Like, stop it. Like, I just want to shake you. My biggest piece of advice is to have your own life. You know what I mean? Have so much going on. Boys can tell. They can tell when you just like, you don't have nothing else going on except for them. And so they be acting all stupid. But when you have a life and you have goals and it's like you're a moving train and either you hop on or you get out my way, they'll behave. You either get on track or you gonna get left, period. So like, get you some business, like, for real. Like, that way they need to be entering your life. They're not your end all and be all. You know, I had to tell David, like, I got jobs, like, I got stuff to do, I got responsibilities. Like, you are not my whole life, okay? Now he is, because he's my husband. But you know, back in the day, girl, I was constantly busy. I've been watching you since I was 13. Oh my god. And I'm about to turn 24. I want your advice on how to be fake with people who you might work with that you don't necessarily like. Feed them with a long handled spoon. You don't have to be best friends. Oh, sorry, I can't talk. I have this email. But yeah, we'll talk later. Like, girl, do not let anybody stand in between you and your paper. It really is a whole acting game. Like, don't let nobody lie to you when you're at work. People be trying to like make you feel bad for code switching or like faking it till you make it. Girl, I am here to get a check, okay? So like, I'm not here to be best friends. I already got my friends. I have met some really cool people at work, but like people that I did not like, just, you know, you got to work around them, but do not allow them to get between you and your money. You know, in your everyday life, obviously don't be a fake person, but when it comes to your job, that's literally your job, is to like fake it. You know, you got to fake being nice to customers. You got to fake being nice to your boss. You got to fake being nice in meetings. You got to fake, like, it's just really fake it till you make it. You know what I mean? So like, dealing with other human beings, you're not always going to mesh. Meshing is not a priority when it comes to your money, okay? So if you can, fake it till you make it. Y'all don't have to be besties, but definitely don't allow that situation to get between you and your money. Hey Nikki, I've been a hooked Glamazon since your OG Tell It Like It Is series, and I'm so excited to have you back. I'm so happy to be back too. I've recently been laid off due to a company closure, and trying to find a job in this current market has been draining, to say the least. Do you have any tips or advice for getting into the corporate world, even starting as a receptionist with little experience in the field? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. I understand. I get you. I understand. And you know what? I've been laid off before too. There was a company that I worked for that I really, really loved, and I really enjoyed my boss, and everything was so perfect. They even had free like OT, girl. I was making some money. So I was really upset when we all got laid off. I have talked about this before. I'm actually going to be making a video for you guys with my interview tips and tricks that are still valid to this day. I already know all I need is a foot in the door. I interview really well, and I'm going to teach you guys some of the tips that I've learned along the way, from the way you dress to the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, even down to the differences between interviewing with a male versus interviewing with a female, or interviewing with a panel, and getting you guys prepared for that. A lot of it is confidence based as well as vocabulary based, and having confidence in what you are saying and being able to speak your piece without talking in circles, eye contact, all of those things, body language. I'm going to teach you guys all of that. So we're going to table that, but I got you. I would say my piece of advice for you right now, temp agencies. That's what helped me a lot. Honing in on your resume. I do have a video where I really broke it down how to write a resume, but nowadays, I mean, you have AI, you have all kinds of tools to help you. I did not have that, girl. I was building my resume from the ground up. I be sounding like I'm from the Stone Ages, but you know, it is a really good skill to have if I needed to. I was telling David this the other day, I enjoy AI, but I also enjoy the fact that I had to learn these things from like the ground up, from like caveman days, where I know how to build a resume from the ground up. Don't be afraid to stop by different companies in person. Drive around, really, you know, get hard copy resumes, be different. I understand we're living in a very electronic world, but we still are dealing with human to human interaction, and to set yourself apart is like going out of your way. And there was one job that I found, I'm gonna tell you guys this story later on, that I found simply by driving around and going in there and being like, hey, do you guys need any help? Like, these are my credentials. This is my area of expertise. And if you ever need any help, keep me in mind. And they did. They called me and I got me a job. So, you know, drive around, girl. Drive around to these different businesses. Like, don't be scared. You got to get over being shy. And I know that that comes with time. And it's kind of hard, especially if you are a shy person. Trust me. I know you can't tell now, but your girl was real shy. I was real shy. And I had a speech impediment. I had a lisp. And so, it took me a long time to build up my confidence. Get your resume nice and strong. And then we will work on your vocabulary. We will work on your wardrobe. We will work on your stature and your confidence. But temporary agencies, girl, you'll have to like apply online for the temp agencies. Go in person. When I tell you, take the extra time. Where is this temp agency at? Get that address. I don't care if you don't have an appointment. I don't care. Show up there in person. And then like turn in your application online and then show up there 8 a.m. when they open in person. Submitted my resume yesterday and I just wanted to submit it in person. This is my area of expertise. This is my availability. And I just wanted to come in and, you know, say hi. That sets you apart from this electronic world, puts a face to the name, and will really heighten your chances of getting a job. So I know that it's hard out here in these streets, girl, but you can do it. And I do have a video coming that's going to be more in depth, but I hope that that helps. Temp agencies really help me, especially with entry-level receptionist positions. You are intricately woven and designed. You know, I know you may not feel it right now, and I know that life seems to be beating you down. But that's why I'm here, to remind you of who you are, that you matter, and how you feel matters. And you don't have to have all of this figured out all at one time. And don't be letting nobody just treat you any type of way. And don't be afraid to leave situations that are not serving you, or that are not filling you up with joy, or that are not pouring into you. People and situations and things. You are not a victim of this life. You are a ruler of your own life. We can either roll over, or we can stand up and fight it out, girl. Fight it out. That might mean long nights. That might mean that you're tired. That might mean 2 and 3 jobs at a time. That might mean saving. That might mean you're not going on vacation, girl. I went so long without ever going on vacation. I lived in that little bitty apartment for almost 6 years, and we had nothing. I was on the bus. Finally, when I got a car, my little broke down Hyundai, we had no savings. We barely even had any money to take Julian bowling. We would have to like save for that. We were constantly in the negative. We would have to go to like those cash advance places to get loans. Like, girl, I am not too proud to let y'all know, like, we came from nothing. Sometimes it feels like you're banging your head up against a brick wall, like you're not getting nowhere. But when I tell you, every single experience is worth so much. When it's time, you will see the big picture. But right now, you're in this certain phase. So just fight through it. Get up every day. Have a purpose. Remember who you are. Don't let nobody waste your time. Don't let nobody play with your heart. We'll get through this together. And I will continue to have Ask Nikki's for you guys to ask me any questions. But I am here to be of help to you guys. A voice of reason that I wish I would have had. I have been there. I have done that. I understand where you guys are coming from. But I have talked y'all's ear off enough. I love y'all so much. But God loves you infinitely more. You are worth so much, more precious than rubies and diamonds. So I will see your fine self in my next video. I love you guys so much. Peace out.